Hi everybody, Mark here with Couch to Camino 2026. Yep. Just ate a protein bar, got frosting in my beard. So we are 85 days away from leaving for my 6th Camino de Santiago. I am out here on my gravel roads out by the farm. Figured I'd get out and do a walk today. And finally, after months of promising, bring you guys along and do a little talk today. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, or you can email me at askmeacaminoquestion@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm trying to get back to them fast, but sometimes we get a little busy out here, so doing what I can. So, what are we going to talk about today? Today is a day in the life. What does the average day for me? I'm not going to say I'm the average pilgrim, because I'm not, but I'm going to give you an idea of what my average day on the Camino looks like. And as I'm doing this, I hope the bouncing doesn't make you seasick. I hope you can hear me okay. It's a little breezy out here today. I'm walking on see behind me, walking on a gravel road, but we'll see how this goes. And hopefully my arm doesn't get tired. If it does, I'll switch to the other arm. So, what does a day in the life of me on the Camino look like? If I'm staying in an albergue, I will set an alarm for, believe it or not, 3 o'clock in the morning. Why in the world am I getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning? Biggest thing is, when you rock into an albergue at the end of the day, and you say you have your phone set to automatically upload your camera roll to Google Photos or iCloud or anything like that, you get a bunch of pilgrims coming in. That crashes the Wi-Fi. So what I do is I turn off all permissions on Google Photos or any other backup services that I have, and they are not allowed to back up until I tell them to. So what I do is I will set an alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll wake up and then I'll grab my phone, pull it under the covers, and I'll quietly do that backup. And if I'm posting something to my family on my very small Instagram account, I'll go ahead and do that, just so I'm not using up bandwidth. I set that, then I fall back asleep. My alarm then, my actual wake-up alarm, is going to be somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock. It depends on the season that I'm there. Usually it's about 6. I go through my morning routine. I like to shower. I like to brush my teeth and do all that stuff in the morning before I get going. It's just part of my regular wake-up routine. So I'll do that, and I will grab my stuff, quietly make sure around the bunk bed of my albergue that I haven't left anything. Then I'm going to walk out into the common area. Now notice I didn't say anything about packing my backpack. It's because it's already packed. I want to be as quiet as possible getting out of the albergue sleeping room, so I'm not, keeping a bunch of people awake or waking a bunch of people up. So I grab my stuff, go out into the common area. Once I'm in the common area, I'm going to drop my backpack. I'm going to do some light stretching, nothing too strenuous, just to get the blood moving and get my joints ready. And then if the albergue is offering coffee and breakfast, I'll go ahead and get coffee and breakfast there. If not, I'm going to switch hands. There we go. After that, I'm going to, if I haven't had breakfast and coffee, I'm going to go ahead and explore town a little bit, find a little bar. I'm going to get my breakfast and coffee. While I'm there, I'm going to look at my app and try to determine, what does today look like? By that I mean, do I have a bunch of hills? Is it a long flat? What's the terrain look like? How far am I going? And let's say I'm going to go, 25 kilometers today. The first half is pretty okay. I got 3 or 4 villages. Doesn't look too bad along the way. Then I'm going to have a place I can grab lunch and But the back half, man, the back half, very steep, a lot of stuff I'm going to have to deal with. So I got to plan for that, and the time to plan for that is now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the bartender or the cafe owner, hey, can I get a sandwich to go, a bocadillo para llevar? So if yes, great. If not, I'll just kind of wait till lunch and maybe pick something up at lunch if I need to. But if I could do it now, it's one less thing I got to worry about. In addition, I'm going to fill my water bottle or my water bottles if I'm carrying a couple. Best to do it now, and the bar owner or the cafe owner, they're going to be more than happy to go ahead and fill that for you. So go ahead and get that done now. So we got a little bit of food on board. We got our coffee on board. This is one last chance for a bathroom break. So I'm going to use the bathroom. And then I'm going to get going. Start my GPS watch, and off we go. Now, during that morning walk, like I said, looking at the guide, I've got 2 or 3 places I can stop to rest, or I could stop to use the restroom or get a snack, get another cup of coffee if I feel like it, which is great. But this first half, because I know I've got that great big hill I have to deal with, I'm not burning fast. I am not trying to set a land speed record and be the fastest pilgrim out there. I'm going to let people follow me because I need the energy to deal with that hill when it's coming up. Wow, it is. Hey, I just jumped a covey of quail over there. Wow, big one. Couple dozen quail just jumped up. That's neat. Anyway, so as we're walking, you know, we can check our guide, pull out our Brierley guide, check our app, however we're doing it, and say, hey, these little villages we got coming up, is there anything worth seeing in them? If not, let's make a little plan. Let's go ahead and maybe if there's a really great church at the second or third village that's just a little before where we were going to stop for lunch, maybe we stop at that little village. We go ahead and have lunch there and go ahead and poke our heads into that church, take a look around, see if it's as cool as the guidebook says it is. And remember, when you go into a church in France or Spain, please take your hat off. If you're bare-shouldered, please throw something over your shoulder. It's just kind of the polite thing to do there. So we get past that, we get to lunch. We're going to have a light lunch, and personally, I'm going to have something with some reasonable amount of protein, reasonable amount of fat, and a crap load of carbs to keep me going. It's one of the few times I might actually have a Coke that isn't a Diet Coke. I drink almost exclusively Diet Coke or Coke Zero, but when I'm walking and I need the energy, I might go ahead and have a regular Coke. It's also a time to rest up a little bit, use the restroom if we need to, and again, do a little bit of light stretching after we've been sitting for a while, because your muscles are going to cool down. A few little bits and pieces are going to want to stiffen up and contract, so we're going to do a little bit of stretching out. Nothing too, like 5-10 minutes, no big deal. So we get back on the road. Oh, we're going to make sure our water bottles are full. We don't want to run out of water heading up this hill, because we know from looking at the Brierley guide or looking on our app, there's really not a whole lot between now when we get to albergue, and we got to go over this big old hill. So let's refill our water bottles. If we did not get a snack, an emergency little bit of food this morning when we had breakfast, let's go ahead and get a bocadillo or something to take with us now. That way we've got it in our backpack. We're ready to go. We're going to have a little bit of extra nutrition for some extra energy as we go. So all that on board. We got food, we got water, we got a plan, we know where we're going. So off we go. Now, going into the hills, we're going to take it slow and easy. Big uphills, can take a lot out of you. So again, this is an easy day. Speed-wise, we're not going to go really fast. We're going to pace this thing out, and we're going to do what we need to do. We got our hiking poles. We're going to shorten our hiking poles just a few centimeters to make it easier to get those poles up the hill in front of us a little bit and use those to help us get up the hill. If you're not, one less thing to worry about. Sorry, I'm really trying not to shake you around too bad. The stabilization on my phone, not the greatest. As a matter of fact, let me get into a smoother area here. Here, you look behind me. You let me know if there's any cars coming. There's a chance one of my 2 or 3 neighbors maybe come rolling down here in a truck. You never know. So, as we go, we're taking it slow. We're taking it easy, and we're switching hands. So, we get to the top. We get to the alto. We stop. We take a break. And this is kind of an important thing. And an old gentleman, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the village. I'll put it right here when I do the edit. It's the little micro village right before Osabrero. And there's a little bar, albergue there. And when I went through that area one time, there was an old gentleman that was sitting outside of that albergue. And I had just come up from Las Herrerias, and I was undoing my stuff. I was really tired, and I knew I just had another 2-3 kilometers on to where I was going to stop for the day, but I need to go to the bathroom. I wanted to get something to drink. So as I'm getting my stuff taken off, this old gentleman that was smoking a cigarette out on the porch said something in Spanish, and I didn't really understand. And he got up, came, put his hand on my shoulder, turned me around, and pointed down the valley and patted me on the back. That was his way of saying, look what you just did. Look what you accomplished. That's really important. That's when you get to the top of those altos, take time. You're going to be tired, but take some time. Look back. Look at what you've just done. Don't worry about so much what's ahead all the time, and forget what you've accomplished. Even if your Camino ended right there, right at that second, you've still accomplished that. That's pretty special. So we stop at the alto, take some pictures, we reflect a little bit, maybe we stretch our lower back, because doing the downhill a lot of times could be even rougher than the uphill. You're going to be using a lot of sets of muscles you're not used to. So we're going to go even slower on the downhill. The urge is going to be to let gravity do all the work and drag you down, but we're going to be careful. We don't want to strain our legs, end up with shin splints or a pulled hamstring or roll an ankle, anything like that, because we're getting loose and wobbly. So we're going to take our time. If we're walking with hiking poles, at this point, we're going to extend the hiking poles out a little bit. So going downhill, we can reach out with those poles ahead of us and stabilize ourselves like a sure-footed goat all the way down. So we go down, we're taking our time, taking a break for water when we need to. We're going slow. So if people are piling up back there, we're going to let them go. We're not racing. We're in a Camino. So we get to the bottom of the hill, and there's our little village where our albergue is. So we find our albergue, reach into our pocket, we pull out our little dry bag. It's got our passport, our government passport, and our credential. We roll into the first albergue. They're closed. They're complete. They don't have any beds available. Okay, there's 4 other albergues here in town. Our first choice, it's full. Let's find another one. So we go on to the next one. They do have a bed available. We ask them if we can take a look at the rooms. Sure. You go in, the place is dirty. Really hasn't been cleaned that well. You're looking at the mattress on the bunk bed. Doesn't look like it's really been kept up that well. Poke our head into the bathrooms. Bathrooms aren't clean. You know, we're going to go back up to the desk and say, thank you, but I'm going to keep looking. Maybe I'll come back if I don't find something else. And we're going to take off. Just because you walk in doesn't mean you can't inspect and walk out. If they won't let you, don't stay there. It's a guarantee you're going to have a bad time. So third place, just like Goldilocks, it's just right. The price is right. They've got power at every bed. The mattress looks good and clean. The bathroom, you know, been a lot of pilgrims. It's messy, but it doesn't look grungy. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and stay here. We give them our passport. We give them our credential. They do what they need to do. We go ahead and pay. We ask, hey, is there laundry? Yes, there is. There is laundry for $4 to wash, euros, €4 to dry. Awesome. So we're going to go up. We're going to find our bunk. We are not going to put our backpack on the bunk bed because it's dirty. Don't do that. Drop your backpack on the floor or set it carefully, whatever. You're going to pull your arrival kit out and your clothing and shower kit out. Pull that stuff out. Put your arrival kit on the bed. That claims it is yours. Then we're going to go to the shower. I take my clothing bag and my shower bag that has my towel, my laundry bag, all that stuff. I'm going to go to the showers, shower, change, and come back to the bunk. I've got my dirty clothes in my laundry bag when I come back from the shower. If there's anybody else in the bunk room there that seems to be close, seems to be friendly, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to pay to have my laundry done. Do you want to throw yours in with mine? We'll just split the cost. It'll be €2 for a wash, €2 per dry for each of us. Yeah, great. Here's my laundry bag. I'll go take care of it. They throw their stuff in. We take it down, and the nice people do our laundry for us. So we've arrived. We've checked in. Yeah, I kind of left out checking for bed bugs. If the place looks a little sketchy, you know, we've already kind of covered that when we inspected, but, you know, take another look around at the seams of the mattresses and stuff. We'll talk about that in the bed bug episode coming up later in the spring. And again, I still can't find a little bed bug shaped stuffed animal to play with on camera, which is weird. I mean, who wouldn't want a bed bug stuffed animal? A little squishmallow or something. Anyway, so we've checked in, we've got our bed, we've taken our shower, we got our laundry done, working. So it's either time for a nap, exploring, or going to the nearest bar for a cerveza con limon, a calimocho, whatever you're vibing on that Camino. Personally, I'm going to go grab a small cerveza con limon, and then I'll have a little snack, and then I'm going to go back and probably take a nap. Now, you might remember, either the morning or the afternoon, or the lunch break, we grabbed a bocadillo. Is that bocadillo still going to be good? Yeah, probably. Keep in mind a ham on bocadillo. That ham sits out on the countertop for days and days and days. There's nothing magical about putting it in a sandwich that's going to make it go bad. It's going to be okay for a day or two. So just leave it in your backpack, wrapped up. It'll be fine. Maybe we'll have it tomorrow. If not, have a little bit of it today. Oh, since it's just me and you, not all of YouTube is, there's just me and you. Not everybody on YouTube can see this. I reduced the permission, so it's just the two of us. Usually you're not supposed to take food into the bunk rooms. If you do, just leave it sealed up in your backpack. I know I'm telling you to break a rule, but, if it's, because they worry about, insects and food going bad and all that. But if you've got it rolled up in a dry bag and the sandwich is wrapped in foil, I can't see a whole lot of downside to anybody. Just don't take it out. You get crumbs everywhere. Just, be cool. So anyway, so I've gone down, I've had a beer, came back. Laundry's not done yet, but that's okay. Go take a nap for about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. And then, if the laundry does come back, I am going to pack my backpack. Not in the morning, not in the evening. I'm going to do it now. So I'm not making a bunch of noise when people are trying to sleep. So if my laundry's back, I'm going to put my laundry in my clothing bag in the reverse order that I'll put it on when I take a shower, as we discussed in one of our other videos. And then my towel and my laundry bag goes on inside that clothing bag. That way, when it's time to do it again tomorrow, everything is where it needs to be. So I'm going to put everything into my backpack. My backpack is going to be sorted, ready to go, with the exception of my arrival bag. And the arrival bag has usually just my charger, my cables, my earplugs, my fan, and my sleep sack. So that way in the morning, when it's time to go, all I have to do is pull my charger, grab my sleep sack, pick up my backpack, and I can easily go out into the common area without waking a bunch of people up. Now, if you've opted to dry your clothes on your backpack, if you've hand washed your backpack, the bunk bed, which is common, be very quiet when you get that stuff together in the morning. But anyway, not to jump ahead. So we've got a couple hours. Probably just hang out and relax a bit, maybe do a little more stretching. Probably text my wife at some point, because by that time the time difference is going to be a little more in her favor, and let her know that, hey, I made it to wherever the hell I am, and I didn't die. I wasn't eaten by goats, and I wasn't pushed off the mountain by an old basket granny because I was too slow. Everything's fine, and get ready to go. I'll also take this little bit of time to compose. If I'm going to make a relive video to share on Instagram later, or Instagram post, I don't do Facebook, but if I was going to Facebook posts, I would pre-prep all of that so that tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock, when my tech alarm goes off, I can get all that stuff posted. I'm not going to take the internet bandwidth to do it now. So eventually, it's going to be time for dinner. Now, some albergues, there's going to be a Camino meal. I really recommend you do that. Sitting with a bunch of people from around the world is pretty damn cool, and it's one of the highlights of the Camino. If not, if you want to eat a little earlier, go roam around a little bit. You may see outside of bars and restaurants, depending on the season you're there, you're going to see pilgrim's meals. A pilgrim's meal is a simple, usually 2 or 3 course meal with some water, maybe half a bottle of wine, that are offered earlier in the afternoon / evening than what the Spanish usually do, being later at night, 8 or 9 o'clock. This allows you to get a good meal in you and get to bed to have enough sleep to make it through tomorrow. So we're going to look around. We're going to find a pilgrim's meal. Luckily, the bar right here has one. Looks like it's the usual spaghetti as a starter, stewed chicken and potatoes, and a little bit of salad for the main, and ice cream for dessert. 12, maybe 15 euros. It's great. It's food. You're gonna run into a lot. You may start hating it at some point. So, but pilgrim's chicken is the thing. After dinner, we're gonna go back, make sure everything around our area is looking ready to go, climb into bed, and actually, I'll go brush my teeth. Then I'll climb into bed, put in my earplugs, and off to sleepy times. Now, the next morning, we're going to do it all over again. My alarm's going to wake me up at 3. I'm going to take care of my tech duties. Usually it takes less than 10 minutes. Then I'm going to go to sleep. And my alarm will wake me up again at 6. So really, that's what a day in the life in the Pilgrim, at least for me, usually feels like. There's not a lot of drama. And the weird thing is, after a while, you're going to lose track of days of the week. You're going to lose track of a lot because the days, it gets pretty monotonous. Your days blend together. Sometimes it's not the most exciting, but that's what it's like. I'll stop here on this little bridge. If you ever wondered what southeast Kansas looks like, a lot of it looks like this. We have a lot of timber. It's kind of cool looking, but a lot of it looks like the Meseta. It's just flat, windy wheat fields with no trees and no nothing. So I always say walking the Meseta is just 7 days, walking a big circle around Wichita, Kansas. Not the most exciting. So anyway, that's about it for today. Let me think here. I kind of made some notes, but I wasn't sure if this was going to work. I still don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if the wind is too bad in little mic mouse here. We'll see how bad it is and if I could edit that out. Favorite thing, I'm going to refer you back to the Spain on a Fork YouTube channel. The last video he did, I think he put it out on the 31st. It's a rice dish with salt cod or fresh cod, whatever. Arroz con bacalao. And it's famous in the Rioja, La Rioja. I've had it several times in Logroño. And I just thought it was really cool that one of my favorite dishes, as I'm starting to think about the menu thing, and the food episodes I want to do, came up on the Spain on a Fork channel. So the other thing I wanted to recommend as favorite things is, I've mentioned 3 different books. And as you can see, I'm out walking, so I have no reference with me. But 3 books I'd really like you to listen to or read before you go. One is called Basque History of the World by Mark Kurlansky. He wrote a few other books. It's very, very lighthearted, whimsical, just sort of a good overview of Basque culture and food, history, geopolitics, just everything you could think of. It's a really neat book. Like I said, it's pretty lighthearted, as his writing tends to be. The second one is, and I don't remember the name of the author, is called The Battle for Spain. That covers the Spanish Civil War from the beginning all the way to the Franco's death and the ramifications for Spain politically and culturally that still exist now. Really important. And so the title of that is, the author I'll put here, and I'll put those notes down in the description. The third one is called A People Betrayed. It is a history of the Iberian Peninsula, specifically the Spanish portions, excluding Portugal. That begins, if I remember correctly, it begins pre-Roman. It goes all the way through modern Spain. If you've ever wondered why Spain, for being such a lovely place, politically, socially, at times, is such a basket case, man, they had a rough history. You know, they built an empire, they lost an empire. There's a lot to be said about that in itself, but yeah, there's still a lot of after effects. So, and I'll put the author's name and I'll put that stuff down in the comment section or the description. But that stuff's really important if you don't know a whole lot about Spain. It's super important to realize the historical, cultural background of the place you're going to spend a month or possibly 2 in, and just why sometimes it can be so damn quirky. I love it, but it can be frustrating at times, but it'll give you a good idea. Favorite place? What should be my favorite place today? that's a rough one. Besides, you know, the farm, not that this is my farm. My farm's way back there. Let's see. Okay, this is weird. I'm going to do a hotel. I'm going to do a hotel that's not even on the Camino. In the train station Chamartin, there is, or Shen Martin. I get so much crap via email for my pronunciations, but I'm doing the best I can. Look, I speak English and broken English. Those are my two fluent languages. I'm doing my best. So it's called Chamartin the One. I always stay there when I'm coming back because I don't want to try to mess with trying to make the connection between a train and the airport, get through security to make sure I make my flight. I always spend an extra day. The Chamartin the One is at the Chamartin train station. When you come in on the train from Santiago, that's where your train's most likely going to be. So you can exit, go right to the hotel. It's a very comfortable, it's not the cheapest motel you're ever going to stay in, but it's worth having that downtime. And if you have a later flight, I usually try to choose a flight going home that's about 1 o'clock. That's a pretty standard time for Iberia or Delta to fly out of Madrid. I will book that, stay in there, and their breakfast, awesome. Huge breakfast buffet. I've mentioned it before, but definitely if you want to break before you head home, you don't want to take the chance of missing a flight because your connections or your train got delayed, which is, if you watch one of my other videos, it does happen. It's worth the cost. So anyway, that is it for this week. I think I'm going to record another video on Monday. I want to go back into Kansas City, go to one of my parks, and go through and do a little hiking. But I'm also going to spend some time with my dad and go see my mom. And then I'm headed off to Louisville for my bee conference. And so I'll try to get that up. And I think Monday will be about training. It's going to be a long one, but bear with me. I think you might get something out of it. So anyway, that's it for today. That's it for this week. Happy 2026. Hope you all had a good, fun, healthy, and relatively sane New Year. And we will see you probably on Monday. But if not, definitely next week. Bye.